Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a hack for replacing missing beading on a piece of furniture like this, a mirror frame, anything really, where you've got a whole section missing, but you've got another section that you can replicate, cheat, copy, whatever you want to call it, that you can then fit back onto your furniture and make it look whole again. So this little cabinet I bought quite cheaply. It was an absolute bargain, but I didn't realise there was a whole section. This whole section at the bottom here was actually missing. So I'm an Iron Orchid design stockist. I've got 3 different trimmings moulds, but there wasn't one that was an exact replica of this. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? And then I remembered seeing a hack on Instagram or Facebook, not sure where, a long time ago, using hot glue. So I thought, well, I'm going to give it a try. I might as well film it as I go along, and hopefully, if it works, then it might be useful for someone else too. So do check out the video. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. And if you've got any questions, pop them into the comments below. I will definitely answer. I always answer if there's any questions there. And yeah, let me know what you think. This piece is now complete, and it'll go into one of my units for sale as soon as I can get it there. So yeah, do check it out. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you'll find it useful. Okay, take care. Bye. So you can see on here, this is the section that was completely missing. I don't know how I didn't spot it when I bought it, but that's typical, always after a bargain. So if you've got a hot glue gun, you can just use any basic one. It's, you don't need anything expensive for this method at all. It did take 3 or 4 glue sticks to actually complete this task. You do need to make sure that you've got glue either side of the beading, because when you come to lay the resin in, you need an edge for it to work up to and sit into. So go along and make sure you're doing the length, at least the length of the missing part. And you can see here, it goes right over the edge. And then you're going to leave that to go hard and then work it off. It was actually a little tricky to actually get it started to come away. A little bit of wiggling about there. So I did wonder about using a releasing agent, maybe olive oil or something like that. But to be honest with you, I didn't try it, so I don't want to recommend anything. But it worked. It came off. It didn't take the beading of the cupboard off with it, which I was a bit worried about. So give it a try. And now you can see it here. I've actually popped a bit of hot glue in the end of that run, both ends, just to make sure that the resin doesn't come out. The resin I'm using is amazing casting resin. It's the 10-minute thaw. It goes hard and white. It dries really quickly, so it's perfect. I wasn't sure again how much to mix up, so it's a 50-50 mix. So I did 20 of each, and there was more than enough for this and other things. So I always have, whenever I'm mixing resin, I always have some of my IOD moulds on hand, just to make sure that I use up the resin and don't waste it. And this actually did 2 or 3 parts from this mould, which I can use on other projects. So I'll just keep them put by for a later date. You just don't ever want to waste any resin when it's been mixed up. So really straightforward. Let it dry. I left that for probably about half an hour, so well past the 10-minute setting time. And it was a little tricky, again, to get it started. You need to sort of break that seal between the hot glue and the resin. But once I got it going, it was absolutely fine. I think my long nails didn't really help. Right, you can see here, it's still got some flexibility in the resin. And where I was pulling so hard, I actually broke it. Not a problem, because it can all be glued back together again once it's placed onto the cabinet. You can see it did actually pull some of the varnish off of the cupboard when I was using the hot glue. But again, it doesn't matter. This is all going to get painted. So there we go. A perfect replica of the beading that is missing. And that can just be glued on and painted, and hopefully you'll see from the finished article, you'll just never know that it was missing in the first place. So with this particular one, I've made it longer because I wanted to make sure that I had more than enough. So just need to measure that out. So what I did was actually measure against the one that is there so that I know it's the exact replica. And then just cut that off using my palette knife. Because you can see on the design, it's actually longer on the bottom there than that. It doesn't perfectly match the corner of the perpendicular piece that comes into it. So I wanted to make sure the top and the bottom of the cabinet were exactly the same. You can sand resin, it's not a problem. So I just wanted to smooth that off and just make sure I had a nice rounded finish there. And you can see that's going to be a perfect match. Titebond Quick and Thick is my go-to glue for this sort of thing. It dries really quickly and it really does grab. I've got that linked on my Amazon shop if you want to have a look at that. That's just Doodle Dash Interiors Amazon shop. You can see there's a link for that. And you can see how quick and easy this is just to apply it to the cabinet. It grabs really quite quickly, but you've still got a few minutes to move it around and make sure it's perfectly in place. If this was on the cabinet was standing up, then I probably would put some masking tape onto it just to hold it. But as it was laying down, it wasn't going to go anywhere. So I've just placed it in position and just left it. I think probably for about half an hour, I just left it before I decided to start painting. And there you go. Look at that. It's an absolute perfect replica of what was missing. And just such an easy and quick way of getting around this issue. And then you can just paint it in whatever fashion you like. So this was just really a straightforward paint job. I've done it in all different directions. It's just chalk paint, and then I've used browning wax over the top. There you go. Well, what did you think? It wasn't difficult, was it? So I used the 10-minute casting resin in my hot glue mould. You could use air dry clay, or maybe there's other mediums that will be suitable in this sort of scenario. So, do give them a try. If you do try this method, then please do send me a photo. I'd love to see it, and it would just be nice to know that maybe it has saved a piece of furniture or a frame going to landfill that really didn't need to. Anyway, do check out my other videos, and thank you for joining me on my channel today. Take care. Bye.